We did it.
We did it again.
It always takes so much longer than we expect to like go through. We're all just like, okay. Anyway, hello. This is our fifth Shadowhunter live show. Oh my god, we're almost at half a year. Wow, that's exciting.
Only a year and a half to go.
This means that we've been friends for about half a year.
Oh,
Yeah.
So like,
wow. That's a half of my sleeve. Anyway, this month we read City of Fallen Angels, and we did. So, first things first, introductions to everybody. I mean, I'm Skylar, but like, continue.
I'm Tati. Just like, you've seen us before at this point.
It's just tradition now.
Yeah, it's just tradition. We got to do it.
I'm Taylor.
I'm Mica.
I'm Sami, but seriously, if you're watching this, you probably
And our names are right.
Yeah.
Right there. No,
And I'm Ysenia, and on behalf of all of us here, thank you for sticking with us. Thank you for reading these books. We
If this is the first time joining us, thank you as well.
Yeah. That just really reminded me of that whole section of, have you seen Hairspray?
Yes.
Yes.
You know the like intro song where they all say their name?
I'm Becky. Brad.
That was us.
Honestly, you know what? We should make an intro song.
We should.
Yeah.
That would be very on brand for us.
Yeah. Taylor, it's on you. You have to do it.
Okay, like honestly, I know a guy. Like we can get this.
If you can get us a theme song,
Honestly.
I have a friend who made me a theme song one time. He like a year ago, he's like a music producer in Sweden, and he was like, "No, you need to make a YouTube channel where you just talk about nothing." And he made me this. He was like, "Do you have any like requisites for your?"
I mean, Taylor, is that not what your YouTube channel is?
Yeah, and I said I want cowbells, so he added cowbells. And then like this big like.
oh my god.
See you guys later in the group chat.
Okay.
Yeah. Please do.
So
Anyway.
stay tuned, y'all. If you're watching. Big moves happening.
This has been the most chaotic start to any of these so far already. And it's been 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So ratings? Do you want to do ratings?
Yeah, let's do ratings.
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, I'll be honest, I don't quite know how I'm going to rate it yet. So I don't have a number yet, but it won't be more than 2.
Okay.
So how about Tati?
I went for a solid 3 out of 5.
Okay.
It was, but definitely in the scheme of all the 3 out of 5s that I've given to this series, this is towards the bottom of the list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm slapping her with a solid 1.75.
Okay.
I rated it 5.
Who's surprised?
No, I'm kidding. I rated it 1 star.
I was shook when I went on Goodreads this morning and you were thrown in the
Mica,
car.
I have never felt more proud in my life.
Your original tweet, though, said 5.
Yeah, it said 5. It was because I was like on my thread. Skylar commented and said, like, if you rate this 5 stars after I seen this whole thing,
The rant.
I'll do it just for you.
Thank you.
So what did you actually end up rating it though?
1 star.
Okay.
Okay, Sami, hold it down. What'd you rate it?
So I didn't rate it yet because I started at 6 and I finished it 45 minutes ago. But
Yes, the queen.
I'm thinking a 4. So
Okay, and I will go off of Sami and say that I gave it a 4 as well.
Whoa!
I actually enjoyed it. So
That is a plot twist.
yeah. So
Very polarizing.
It's a plot twist.
Wow.
But
The fact that you gave it a 4 out of 5 stars is I'm twisted. I did not expect that.
Yeah. It's not a high 4-star by any means, but she's a 4-star.
Okay, that's fair.
She's a 4-star.
I mean, you and I both use the cop pile when we're doing the things, so like we have a pretty good idea of like what those are.
Yeah. And honestly, well, I'll like get into it, but with the call pile system, the characters really like was what made it a 4-star.
Yeah, honestly, for me,
Yeah.
being the characters and intrigue and enjoyment, the ones that like usually bump up other books, but this one, intrigue and enjoyment, were like really down below, and it was the characters that pushed it through up to a 3-star.
Okay. So we talked because I said this to Taylor last night, that I was trying to come up with some points to, talk about, and I
couldn't
kind of realized that nothing really happened in the book, like plot-wise.
Like, if you ask me what the plot was, I was just like, plot? What?
Like, the only thing that really happened to like progress onto the next book happened right at the very end with the thing with Jace. Like, everything that happened before that isn't really relevant.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of like the thing with Camille is kind of relevant, but
I can see the threads of what like is gonna be important in the next 2 books, but also there wasn't a lot that happened in this book. It's just like, again, I was just like more interested in subplots than I was in like what could be considered like the main plot of this book. Which I find is a theme throughout the entire Mortal Instruments, and specifically the Mortal Instruments, because like when we read Clockwork Angel last month, that was not the problem. I didn't have that problem.
I think this book, it was really clear, and I know we talked about before how it was originally supposed to be a trilogy. This was definitely like the beginning of what I would consider a new trilogy. Obviously, I haven't read this. This is the last Mortal Instruments book I've read, but it's introducing all these new characters. I mean, you're getting a lot more of the new characters. You're learning a lot about them, and
it kind of takes a turn now to the like the last 2 books are very different from what we've been reading. Doesn't mean it's better. It's just different.
Also, on that point, it was the beginning of a trilogy, and I still felt like this was a filler book.
Yes, I agree.
Because not like a lot of the things that were happening could have been condensed, and didn't need to go on for an entire book, and it really felt like it was just filler.
Yeah, like I said, this book kind of has like the plot could have been good if it was executed like anywhere kind of good. It just was so badly done that it turned out like shit.
It felt very much like, which I mean probably was the case, like Sami said, that it was supposed to be an original trilogy. It felt a lot like Cassandra Clare was like, wait, this is popular, I'm gonna drag this out and beat a dead horse, and just
I think maybe even more than her, it might have been like her publisher that might have been like, okay, girl, you gotta churn out another trilogy.
And it felt like it was pushed out.
Especially because this was published after Clockwork Angel, I'm sorry. So like, it's clear that someone was like, okay, get to work back on the Mortal Instruments.
Yeah, it felt like it was kind of pushed out with no real plan. Because it's all very, like, nothing happens, it's just fan service, basically.
Yeah, no, especially because like I can see like the connections between this and the Infernal Devices. So it's clear that she was like she had the Infernal Devices like very prominently in mind when she was writing this, and it shows.
I think
that she was like focusing on something else, but she had to get this done. And so this is why this feels like a filler.
The thing is, this book is very forgettable because I've read this before and I know kind of like the main things that happen, but I had completely forgotten that Sebastian was resurrected. I just thought, like, I remember he was coming back, but I thought he was never dead. And suddenly he's resurrected, and the connection thing with Chase, like, it plays a major role in the next book, and Heavenly Fire kind of too. And it's like, I completely forgot about it.
Yeah.
It's because it happens like right to the very end.
And they don't give it time to breathe and progress.
Yeah, but also I watched the TV show and it happens there, and I thought that like they had come up with it and it didn't happen in the books, and it actually did. And I'm
honest to God, I thought this was a plot line that the TV show had made up.
Yeah.
Like I honest to God did not expect that he was like gonna like I once Sebastian was introduced in City of Glass, I was like, oh no, this is like an actual thing that they got from the books.
Yeah.
But I legitimately thought that this was a thing that the TV show made up.
Yeah, no, I remember Sebastian and that he wasn't dead and everything, but like the plot line with Lilith.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Lilith as a villain?
The same way I felt about Valentine.
Yeah,
like she was. I feel like she could have been a good villain.
Yeah.
But she showed up for like a chapter and a half. We got all her backstory in pretty much one page. There was no development.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing. It was the same way as Valentine. It like she obviously felt like a one-off villain. And it was the same as Valentine. I was like, I didn't feel threatened by her. I didn't think that she was going to play a big role. I did not care about her in the slightest. She shows up for the last 3 chapters and then she dies. Spoiler alert, sorry. And then she dies and that's it. I just like, I don't get invested in any of these villains. Like Sebastian is the only villain that I could say that I could like marginally get invested in, because he did feel like threatening in the last book. And he does feel sort of threatening with what little he has accomplished in this.
Yeah, which is why I think that she used the resurrection trope at the end, because I can tell as a writer she's probably way more invested in Sebastian, and I don't know if it's just because she wants to write from younger points of view or what. Because I noticed all of her characters are very glossed over.
It's because she wants the incest plot. That's why. That's truly why.
True.
And also, I think she just doesn't like her adult characters.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, I can just tell, like, the level of
like
is just not there.
I think the only quote unquote adult character that she actually likes and has a grasp on is Magnus, because he is 400 years old, so he is sort of like an adult, at least more mature than everybody around him, but still he like when he's first described in the book, he's described as a teenager that looked older than 19 or some shit like that, so it's like he's a quote unquote adult but not really.
But then she's writing adult characters. Like, girl, if you can't handle the heat, get out of the adult.
Did you see how quickly she got rid of Simon's mother?
Like, pop back over to the kiddie table, girl. Like, it's fine. It's your niece. You get it. Stay there.
Yeah. So how do you feel, talking about Sebastian at the end, how do you feel about the resurrection trope in general and the fact that it was used again?
So, like, I'm not the biggest fan of that trope because I think it's a cop-out, but for this, I was kind of a little more excited to see it just because I feel like she took Sebastian away from us so quickly in the original trilogy that I was like, what the heck?
I'm just glad it was Sebastian and not Valentine.
Oh, if it was Valentine, I would have been not happy.
And that would have been a no from me. Sorry. Go ahead, Mica. Go ahead.
When it was Chase, but this time around, I was like, okay, it kind of has more a point. I usually hate it when at the end of the trilogies or series, they resurrect the main character when they die, because it's like a cop-out. Just kill them all, okay? Yeah. But they kind of had like a point to a resurrection. Like when they resurrect villains, I'm all for it. It's just the characters that I hate.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked about when we did City of Glass that I am not a fan of resurrection tropes. I think they're cop-outs as well. And I agree with Mica that when done at the end of the series, it's very infuriating. I'm very much kill your bitches, like, and stick to it. Like, you want to kill a main character? Go ahead, do it. Like, actually do it. I dare you to do it because it'll be so much better if you do. But resurrecting a villain at the beginning, I don't love resurrection, but I do have to agree that like Sebastian had a lot of potential in the last book, and he was killed off almost in a bitch move that was made to try to like show like that Jace was a better fighter, which like could have been done in so many better ways that didn't lead down a resurrection plotline. But yeah, I'm conflicted on it. I'm like, I'm okay that Sebastian is coming back because I want to see more of him as a villain. But at the same time, I'm like, but did we have to go down the line of resurrection? It's just like I'm very conflicted on it.
I agree. Though every time she did the same thing with Clary getting that rune right, creating power.
Yeah.
Like she just likes instant resolutions.
Yeah.
And then there's like no point in the struggle because they've done nothing to work for it. It just ends up working out anyway.
And there's no loss to it. It's like I want to see somebody go through and maybe have to lose a few things in order to get what they want, or it's like something. And she's not serving it to me. Right.
I absolutely agree.
But then here's the thing. I'm going to play devil's advocate for Miss Judith Cassandra Clare. Had it not been a trilogy originally, I don't think we would have ever had a resurrection. I think he would have survived. So, like, I can't alter too much.
Yeah.
Because she didn't know that it was going to be like a...
Yeah. She could have been somebody else evil and ran with it. Give us Magnus. Give us an evil Alec.
Yes, I would give my soul for that.
I would actually be here for that.
Turns dark. Yes.
Lilith, I would have preferred it.
Honestly, I would give my soul for like Dark Couple Malik. Like, I would give my soul for that. Like, they could rule the world if they wanted to. Like, fuck me. I think one of like Cassandra Clare's like biggest writing like weaknesses, that's the word I was looking for. One of her biggest writing weaknesses is that she writes herself into a corner, and instead of like looking for clever ways out of like interesting ways in which she can get out of that writing corner, she just goes for instant solutions and like something that's like easy and convenient. And like some things I'm willing to overlook, but there's others that I'm not. And like she really like that is her biggest weakness, is that she writes herself into a corner, and instead of like looking for interesting ways out, she just like goes with what's easiest.
Yeah, I agree. So obviously the main plot line, I guess, of this series is Clary and Jace.
Yeah.
I hate the fact that, again, because it was supposed to be a trilogy, it felt they were happy at the end of City of Glass, much to my dismay, because, you know, brother and sister is still weird.
Yeah.
They were happy, and it felt like for just no reason, they were put back at square one and just kept going back and forth. And I know you're going to hate this comparison, but it's just because I read it in the last couple of weeks, but it feels very hard in a Tessa to me.
Yeah.
Just because it's like, oh, they're together, then Hardin / Jace decides he doesn't like her anymore. They fight, they make up, they fight, they make up.
No, but Skylar has a point though, because like they're back to like having like communication issues just like they did in City of Bones.
Yeah.
Like they're back to having the same communication issues that they had at the beginning of that book. Like it was they just couldn't like figure each other out and talk to each other and communicate properly.
I know that it's supposed to be Lilith doing that. He's being just such a jerk. But also,
honestly, Lilith is only amplifying what was already there.
I mean, he's done it before.
Like, I'm sorry, but Lilith is just amplifying what was already part of Jace's personality.
Yeah,
like, I don't think she's adding anything new. She's just amplifying all the weakest and like not weakest, but like the shittier parts of his personality.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying that's Cassandra Clare's explanation for the back and forth thing. It's because Lilith and like, bitch, please don't.
Yeah, that's a weak excuse. Yeah, I don't know. I've never been a fan of the relationship. I've made that abundantly clear. But like, it's just kind of annoying when there's no reason for it to have gone back to this. Because there's like, I don't know, nothing happened to make it worth the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the scene at the end when they're all lovey-dovey and getting like kind of engaged or whatever.
Yeah.
No. Like,
and also like I know
that. Like,
and also I know that Shadowhunters get married like really young, but like Clary's 16 and Jason's 17. Like, chill, cool down for a minute. They've known each other for 3 months. 2 months.
And how much of that time?
At that time, they thought they were siblings. So
about
exactly.
Well, about half of that.
And then how much of that time?
Then they're 16
being an ass.
Yeah,
all of it.
Yeah. When Simon said he was 16, I almost had a heart attack because I was like, 16? What?
That was one good thing that the show really did, and it was like age up all the characters.
Yeah.
Everybody was like 18 and above. So like Clary and Simon and Isabel were like 18, Jace was 19, Alec was like 20 or 21. So like that was one good thing that the show did, that it was like they aged up all the characters. So it was like when Simon moved out of his house and was like living on his own, it made it way more believable than like this 16-year-old just like striking out on his own.
Yeah.
So again, to do with like the main thing, what's
Sami?
Huh?
Sorry, Sami was saying something.
I think Sami was saying something.
Oh,
Sammy's been having connection
issues. Freezing.
Yeah, I know. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Did anyone catch Isabel saying that? I don't think it was Isabel, but somebody saying Isabel had been with a ghost.
Yes, Jason. Isabel had been with a ghost.
Oh my god! Yes.
Yes, that's the thing that he said in this book.
Listen, sometimes you gotta do that, you know?
Very, very.
But also, how does that work?
Yeah, I want to know more.
American Horror Story, Murder House energy. If you guys know, you know.
Yep.
It's like. No, but yeah, Jace definitely pointed out that Isabel had been with a ghost.
Yeah.
I love that.
Wow, I literally did not see that at all.
Look it up.
The fact that I can gloss over shit like that while reading this book is like ridiculous.
I mean, that just goes to show like what the general vibe is.
I glossed over Lilith death. Suddenly they were saying Simon killed Lilith, and I was like, what? When?
Ysenia's like, oh wait, they had sex with a ghost? 5 stars.
I'm like, she might be at 3.5 now. Like,
honestly, that rating might be going down. The more we're talking about this, I'm thinking that my rating might go down like a star.
Like, I'm the only one right here. 1 star, bitches.
Yeah,
you gave the last 3 5. Like, I don't trust you.
City of Glass is actually good.
No, sit down because I gave 1 5.
And it was City of Glass.
City of Glass, though.
Look, I stand by my
honestly,
rating. I'm not scared.
Here you go. Here's the thing. I'm critical now, but when we get to the Malik books, I'm gonna turn into a soft bitch, and those are gonna be 5 stars no matter what.
Okay.
What if they're just like trash though? What if they're real bad?
Yeah.
I mean, they're co-written, so I highly doubt they're trash. They're probably better because they're co-written.
Oh, true. I have
that is true.
Did you guys see that she wrote a novella about Jocelyn's backstory.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that on Goodreads?
It's just literally the same thing that she talked about in City of Glass, but like kind of longer and from her POV. And that's it.
Do you remember the outtakes that Mica sent us a few months ago?
There.
It's in one of the outtakes.
And it's just that.
Yeah, it's just that.
I started reading it and I had to stop because it was so boring, and I
didn't even look at it. I only, you know what I focused on when I saw the outtakes. I don't really need to explain this. Actually, I went to look for the outtakes for this book, and there's only one, and it was actually on the back of the book.
Oh.
Yeah, if you have the new edition, the reprint, it's on the back of the book.
Is the Sebastian backstory? Is that
no? It's Jason Clary's alley makeout scene from Jason's perspective.
Who needs that?
Nobody, literally nobody.
Oh, the act of falling.
Sami probably.
I didn't see that.
Ew.
Yeah,
I think there are
I
more
don't want to read that from his perspective. I didn't want to read it from her perspective.
Like,
ew. Who asked for that?
What is that? Literally no one.
No, I think we'll check because I think
but I think it's on the reprint.
But maybe it's in yours. It's called The Act of Falling. I can always send it to you too if you want.
Yeah, no, I have the link right here if you want it. It's in the Shadowhunters wiki that like Mica sent us with the outtakes link. It's there.
Mine's the first edition. She ain't got none of that.
She ain't got nothing.
No.
She ain't got nothing.
No.
Cassie Claire really said, you know what the fans need? The alley makeout from Jace's perspective. Like, nobody asked for that.
I mean, the worst part is people probably did.
There are a lot of people that probably did.
Yeah, because people are really into Jason Clary.
But what does it say? Like, I looked into her eyes. I popped a semi. Like, what is it say that's any different?
I don't know, Taylor. I didn't waste my time reading it.
Yeah,
like,
I didn't read it, but I don't think it says that. Okay.
Like, I can only really picture like so many ways to reiterate that same thing. Our lips brushed gently as I looked into my sister, but not sister's eyes. My penis started to become erect, but then I remembered we're related, but not.
Stop.
Please stop.
Your channel or on mine?
Skylar's channel is a wholesome place.
It is not. I know what
That's true. It's not. It's not. Skylar, we know what you read, girl.
Yeah, you think
Not my channel.
this Miss Penelope Stan, you think she has a wholesome
I think she's got a whole channel. She serves a cute, bubbly personality with good book recs and bomb eyeshadow every time. So,
oh my god,
you've read the same Thornchapel books that I have. Like,
I have. And I did give them a 3 out of 4 star.
There you go.
Wait,
Okay,
because I want to tell you this, Taylor, and I'm so sorry to say it, but I don't think you need to picture it because next book there's gonna be a lot of makeout scenes, and some of them have to be
I don't need this. I don't need this.
So,
I've decided I'm not present for that month.
Mica, I feel like I've asked you to do this so many times, but I forget. Like, how many of these books have you read? Like, have you read all of the books she's come out with, aside from the brand new ones?
I've read all of the Modern Instruments. I read all of the Infernal Devices, and I read the Bane Chronicles.
Okay, so so by next year, by like March next year, you're getting into new territory.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry, girl.
I have no apology feelings for that.
Look, Mica has merch. She has the Morgenstern ring.
I didn't.
She has
know
the
because
angel.
the book was so bad. It didn't deserve it.
Okay, so we were talking earlier about Malik. How do you feel about that in this book?
Wait,
I read it so much.
Wait, Tati needs to go last on this because
Yeah,
it's just
that's
going to be a rant.
Yes,
So, and
that's fair. I'm gonna shut up now.
Have feelings about Malik, say them now.
Okay, who wants to go?
I'll go.
Go.
Tati, don't come for me, but I don't care anymore. Like,
I didn't care all that much this book as well.
He had me for a minute there, and the TV show definitely has me. But these books, I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah,
you could
agree.
Alec or Magnus or anybody, and I'd be like, all right, moving on.
I feel like she made Alec really whiny in this book. And I really did not like him at all. He was like, what do you mean? You're not a virgin. You've been alive for like 400 years. What do you mean? And I was like, are we gonna do that?
Yeah.
I have like a few things to say. Okay. Edward. And I'm gonna start with the first one. The first one is that they're not in the book until like the half point, and that is such a cop-out because she created them to be like, oh, I have a gay character and a bisexual character, but I'm not gonna write them because I don't want to. So she chucked them off to some trip in God knows where, and she said, "That's just it." And then she made this whole plotline, and I have so many things about this too because. First, he started being really whiny about, oh, you've been with so many people. And I was like, this slut shaming? What the fuck? And then she went, and you like women too. And I was like, no. Yeah. I needed to close that and said, no. Yeah. Not anymore. I cannot take this. And so bad. And even when they made up at the end, it was like, oh, fuck this. Like, I was so done. Did nothing for me. And I was like, there's like clay scene with all this beautiful, and we're good together and room, we're gonna be married. And then this bullshit that went afterwards. And I was like, When I ended that, I felt like Trisha Paytas in the tweet that I'm finally free, worst experience of my life.
Oh,
look.
Yeah.
Okay, Sami, how do you feel?
I don't know. I feel like none of this, like, obviously, I think, like, obviously, Judith, Sandra Clare wrote it, but I also feel like Alec's actions weren't out of character because I don't personally like Alec that much.
Yeah.
So it's a personal feeling. I love Magnus. None of this actually felt that out of character for Alec since he is super, super kind of dramatic and he is whiny. So like I wasn't like too bothered. I was bothered by some of the shit she threw in here, but we'll just let that one go, I guess, for this one.
Girl, talk about it if you want to talk about it.
Go ahead, pop off.
We kind of touched on it somewhere. I have to find it. But yeah, somebody just said it with you like
shaming and the biphobia.
It was also like, what else do you like? And then he was like, not mermaids or whatever. But then like, I was like,
what don't you like? And he was like, I don't like mermaids.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Wasn't great.
Yeah,
it wasn't great. Kind of sucks.
Though that there was kind of points made in his like kind of being a little weirded out by him saying, like, when Camille said, "Oh, he looks just like Will," I'd be like, "Oh, I look just like this other guy I didn't have." Oh, I don't know about that one, but
I mean, it's weird too because of the relationship that Magnus and Will kind of have. It's like, why do you throw that in there?
Yeah.
It was just a name drop the other series. That's all it was. It was very obvious.
Yeah.
Ysenia,
just like the reference to Tessa, it was very obvious. Like, but it was just like a link that she had like Clockwork Angel in her mind.
Yeah.
I'm like a mixture of Taylor and Sami for this one. Surprise, not really. I'm in the camp of I'm glad that they're not like a huge part of this series, because I feel like if she were to give us any more of Malik, it would have killed it for me. Like I wouldn't have enjoyed it, just because I know the way that she writes relationships, and I haven't enjoyed any of them so far but them, and it's only because they're only in this for a little bit at a time. But I also do agree with Sami. Like, I don't think it was that out of character for Alec at all. And I did appreciate that it was pretty, I felt like it was pretty realistic in terms of like Magnus obviously has been alive for however long, and he's not like unfamiliar with how relationships work and things like that. But Alec, it totally is. Like, he's totally out of his element.
I mean, but also he's 18. He's not 16. He should know better by now. Like, I'm 18.
Also, it is his first relationship.
Yeah, and he was.
I've never had a relationship. I know better. Like this, like raw brain.
I mean, he was also just basically on this big honeymoon. Like, they were just like living it up, probably not thinking about anyone else. And he comes back and he's thrown in the face with like this person, Camille, who had a big relationship with Magnus for like years. And years.
Like I understand being jealous, but.
No. I'm not condoning his actions, but
neither am I. But I can understand the thought process.
That's why I never cared about book Alec, but I really like TV show Alec. So much better.
Alec is way better.
So much better.
Yeah, I agree.
Personality and everything.
Yeah.
So,
Sami, what you laughing at? You don't like TV show Alec?
No, I'm just laughing because she said so much better, and all I can think about is Matthew Daddario. So.
I mean,
that's the only important information you need.
Honestly. I told Taylor the other day, whoever came up with the idea of having Matthew Daddario and Harry Shum Jr. play Magnus and Alec, honestly, you deserve all the awards.
It's kind of weird to think that he's Magnus, but he was also on Glee.
That is one of the things I love about Harry Shum Jr., how versatile he is as an actor, because he disappears into the role of Magnus. Like, I see him as Magnus, and I don't see Harry Shum Jr.
You didn't know this.
I thought the picture you guys sent was from somewhere else. He's actually back.
That is so funny.
I thought he was literally in like another movie or something. I thought that was like
No.
Honey.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay.
That's cool.
I'm so glad we got that on camera, honestly.
I don't know if that's reaction of the situation. It's not what I envisioned in my head.
Wait, he's way better in it than he was in Glee. Trust.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
For real. Also, well, I mean, he has lines here. He didn't have them in Glee.
I'm ready for him to pop off in, what is it? Is it China Rich Girlfriend? Is that the second one? I'm ready for him to pop off.
Absolutely, I agree.
But wow, he's our Magnus.
Yes, he played Magnus. I'll send you some clips. I'll send you clips for things you've already read, so it won't be spoilers. I'll send you some clips that you should
see. She's like,
like, I don't know what I envisioned in my head, but it was not Harry Shum Jr.
That's funny.
Yeah, I didn't know this was information for you. I forget that you are the queen of like not getting spoilers.
Yeah, I don't know how.
Anything.
We're here.
Yeah,
so it scares me at the same time because maybe I'm just like hopelessly oblivious to everything.
It still works.
Yeah, it's a blessing sometimes. You know,
it's like kind of a talent though. Like I think I was telling you the other day because I'm in the middle of slightly off topic, but we'll get back to topic. I'm in the middle of Beast right now, and I follow this like Sarah J. Maas like account on Instagram where they post like equal parts ACOTAR stuff and Throne of Glass, and I haven't read the Throne of Glass series in any capacity, and they post about it daily, and I have not been spoiled once. I just see the name like Aileen or Rowan, and I'm like, okay, that's not the one I need.
Yeah.
Yes.
I can do that. If I say, like, if I see a name of a book that I haven't read, it's like when I realize it's already too late, and I have like a really good memory. I'm never gonna forget that shit, you know.
I have had so many Crooked Kingdom spoilers. So many.
I haven't had any. I had to go look up Crooked Kingdom spoilers because I was like,
I have so many. And then, while we were reading Clockwork Angel, I got the Infernal Devices spoiled for me as I was reading it.
Yeah.
And I still got it spoiled.
The amount of spoilers I've seen since I started reading the Poppy War, it's insane.
Me too.
Mika's the kind of person that will literally type in Twitter all the character names and the book titles and every abbreviation to block it, and she'll still get spoiled.
Honestly, though, I'm with this one on Ysenia. I avoid spoilers, and I don't know how I do it. Like, I didn't get spoiled for a single thing on Game of Thrones until I started watching the show.
Yeah,
I
Game of Thrones.
I started getting spoiled for things on the show because like I was like actively like following Game of Thrones accounts, and that like, and it was like after I finished binging the show, like I've seen all like the Shadowhunters show, and yet there's like I don't know most of the things that go on in the series. Like I have a vague clue for like the Mortal Instruments, but for everything else, I'm just like I don't fucking know what's happening.
Yeah.
This is how talented I am at avoiding spoilers. Taylor brought up the red wedding scene of Game of Thrones, and I literally said, "What's that?"
That's insane.
Wow.
And I still don't know. So no spoilers.
Here's the thing. When I first went to watch Game of Thrones, I knew that the red wedding was a thing. I just didn't know what it was about, who died, why it happened. I just like when I watched the episode, I was like talking to someone about it, and they're like, "Oh, so you saw the red wedding?" And I was like, "Oh, that was it? Okay, cool."
No, like I literally was like, "What's that?"
Yeah,
I am so mad at you two, like so mad.
Me
like,
too.
My life is just a big one spoiler. Like
me and Mica were both reading the Poppy War at the same time, and we just kept getting spoilers on Twitter. And I have the words blocked. It's always as I'm reading the book.
Yeah, and the worst part is that I mute words, and then a tweet pops out and says this word is muted, and I click it all the time. It's like I do it every time.
You took yourself on the foot with that one.
Oh, that's so funny.
I don't know what y'all are doing in order to have this happen, because I'm literally following spoiler accounts and I've not spoiled.
We just
I don't even follow spoiler accounts. I just generally read Twitter and that's it. Like, here's the thing. I've seen so much discourse about the Poppy War in the last like few weeks. I still don't know what that book is about.
Neither do I.
I still have no clue what the book is about.
And yet me and Mica read it and we get spoiled.
There you go.
Okay.
Typical.
City of Fallen Angels.
Yes, Tati,
Yeah,
your Malik opinion. You're up on the Malik stage.
Oh, okay. Jeez. Okay. They were gone for half the book, which was like both good and bad. Bad because I had to suffer through the straits, but you know, it is what it is. The one thing I really hated more so than Alec's like reactions to everything. There were two things that I really hated. One, how are you dating someone for 6 weeks and the whole conversation around sexuality hasn't come up? I don't know how that happens, but you know, you do you. Like have you not discussed this already?
Nobody
because
communicates in this universe. We know
literally because I don't know about them, but like if I'm gonna be dating someone seriously for 6 weeks, the fact that I'm bisexual is gonna come up at some point. I mean, yeah, no, it has come up. Like I've dated someone, and it's like the I'm like, oh, you should know this because this is a part of who I am. But that's besides the point. The one thing that I really do hate that Cassandra Clare consistently does around Malik is that like whenever they start to have like a conversation that they really need to have and they actually start to communicate, somebody interrupts it. And I'm like, how do you expect to get character development when you like continually interrupt the conversations that they're supposed to be having? I don't know if you noticed this, but like I think it was like at the Ironworks party that like finally Malik and Agnes sat down. Malik and Alec I can't talk. Magnus and Alec sat down and started to talk and like have an actual productive conversation, and then Isabel comes around to interrupt it. And I'm just like, okay, so, and she continually does this like throughout the entire series. Skylar left. Okay, that's okay.
Like, I can't hear any of this anymore.
I'm just sitting here.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it's just my biggest problem is that she continually interrupts like important conversations that are going on. And that's not great. And also the slut shaming and biphobia was not cute. It was not great. It was just not a mood.
Yeah.
I was all around disappointed by this book.
Yeah. And also the relationship things also get an instant resolution.
Yeah. Again, she continues to write herself into a corner, and then she just doesn't figure out how to get out of it.
It also got really biblical.
I didn't get anything.
I don't know if you guys saw my tweet, but I said that like the most unbelievable thing about the series is not the vampires, the magic, or the demons. It's the fact that these teenagers have extensive biblical knowledge.
Okay, because I don't know if it was that prevalent in the first, but in this one, they really go on the whole angels tangent, like
out there,
like heavenly angels. You know,
they were like out there throwing biblical quotes, and I was like, what teenager has this in their arsenal? Because like Simon's like, oh, Hebrew school, and I was like, no, bitch, I went to Catholic school for like years, and like
6 years. I don't know how to do the Hail Mary.
12, bitch. I went to Catholic school for 12 years, and I'm just like, nothing.
I thought it was almost interesting, just in the fact that, like, I've never seen it before. Like, I read Angel Fall by Susan E. a while ago, and it's about angels. But, like, they're always angels, and just the fact that, like, oh, they have wings and they're hot.
Yeah.
That she tried to loop it into something, though we didn't have to go Adam and Eve up in here. But it was interesting in the fact that I was like, oh, so this is like really linking to something.
She's like trying to develop something.
Really doing something with this.
Like, if she had done it better, I would be in for it. Like, okay, something, but she didn't do it well.
No, the fact that they all had like biblical knowledge was just, I found it very distracting. I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how is this like an actual thing? And like, because like Jace starts quoting Paradise Lost at one point, I think, or some shit like that. And like, I get that Valentine made you read this, but also I highly doubt that you would have retained any of this, like at 9 years old.
No,
like,
Paradise
no
Lost.
9-year-old reads Paradise Lost and understands it. Like, I read Paradise Lost in college as an English major, and I still don't have a fucking clue what was going on in that book.
How do we let her in?
Someone probably has to have control. Who has it? Someone check it. Everybody check the print.
Not me.
I did a stupid thing. I needed to add myself.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, why is nobody letting me in? And then I realized I had to do it myself. Anyway, what did I miss?
In the biblical thing we were talking about.
We were talking about like how all these teenagers have extensive biblical knowledge, and that's very unbelievable.
Yeah.
And the fact that Jace like starts quoting Paradise Lost at one point, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
He quotes this in Italian also. Like
from Dante's was it Paradiso? I think it was from Paradiso, and I'm like, no.
I don't know which one, but like, no, bitch, no.
It's like, no bitch.
Wait, can we talk about the one thing that I kind of like about this book? I didn't actually like it, but it's kind of like the one thing that I was like, good. When at the start of the book, finally, someone teaches Clary how to fight. Like, finally.
It's about time.
It's like 3 books too late, but finally.
Yeah.
Finally. I mean, she didn't learn shit, but finally.
Actually, you know what?
What?
You know what? Clary does have one really good moment in this book that I really appreciated. And it's that she got a little self-aware. In chapter 10, when she's gonna go to like the Riverside Drive house, and she texts Isabel before going, she has this line where she says, to go running off on her own, not knowing what she'd find. Well, she had training, but not that much training. And she knew she had a tendency to act first, think later. I was like, finally, Claire, you're getting some fucking perspective. That is like some fucking growth.
Yeah. Finally.
She kind of gets rid of the demon too. I don't remember because I closed it up. But she kind of fights the demon and kind of wins or something.
Yeah, no. When Isabel arrives at the Riverside, whatever the fuck house,
the church with the baby.
The church with the baby. Isabel points out, like, oh yeah, you were holding your own, even though you were without weapons or anything. Like, Isabel dispatches the demon in the end with her whip, but she was like, you were actually like doing well. So it was like,
okay. The babies,
some growth.
Can we please talk about the babies? Because why?
Oh my god,
shock value. That's why shock
Is
value.
Is it actually a thing? Is that a thing Lilith is said to have done? Because I just assumed it was a Bible thing.
No. It was a thing that Lilith actually did in the plot of the book.
Yeah, the baby. When Isabel, Maya, and the other guy,
Jordan.
go to the whatever and find all the dead babies with the demon blood that they injected in the mothers that made no sense. They had no blood value.
Shock value.
It was shock. Like, I had no shock because they just said, "Oh, Maya puked all these dead babies." Like we cared. I don't care.
Yeah, it was just like it was a thing that was done, and I'm like, why?
It was unnecessary. Also,
it was unnecessary, absolutely.
Going off of that, how did we feel about Jordan?
Look,
okay,
I just want to say
we're not here for the abusive ex-boyfriend who feels bad.
Yeah. Now, I just want to say that it was so obvious. Like, they have this new kid coming up, and they go, "Oh, let's trust this bitch that we don't know from nothing, and let's tell him all their life story, just like we did Sebastian, who betrayed us and tried to kill us all and all our race."
They do not learn.
It's like, oh, it's Jordan, the abusive ex. Wow, mind blown. Bitch, how did you not see this coming?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, we're not here for abuse apologists. Like them saying, like, oh, it was because it was his first time turning. It's like, bitch, I don't care.
I literally
don't care. Your girlfriend. You still hit your girlfriend. You still raised your hands against your girlfriend. You were still a jealous asshole, and you still bit your girlfriend in a jealous rage. And we're not here.
I mean, here's the thing: she's not just gonna like move past all the like trauma she has now.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Because she knows why it happened.
Getting past through that trauma. Didn't you see the last scene they had together?
I know.
Yeah, that was very not good.
I don't like it. I'll be honest.
Actually, one thing that I did enjoy that happened in this book was that when Maya and Isabel both found out that Simon had been dating the both of them at the same time, instead of turning against each other, like you would think that Cassandra Clare would have them do, as she has shown that she hates women. Instead of turning against each other, they like become a badass duo and like protect each other. And like when Isabel finds out about Jordan, she's like, "Stay the fuck away, bitch! Because I will cut you."
Also,
so yeah, I appreciated that.
How did Simon, like, I think the most unrealistic part of this book is that Simon could get these two hotties.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I don't hate Simon by any means, but come on.
It was
a moment when I cared about Simon, but it ended real quick because I was listening to the audiobook and that part with his mom kind of touched my heart, but then I fell asleep like further up and I had to go back because I didn't remember where I was at, and I reheard that part accidentally and it did not touch my heart the second time, so I don't really know.
Yeah.
is going on. And then I just want to say that I started again and I fell asleep again.
Yeah, I think the consensus on this one is that like this was not the best.
Nothing happened.
Yeah,
nothing happened.
Nothing at all.
I took like no notes for this book, but I did just. All I have is one thing written in my notes app, and it's from when we had the whole Lilith encounter, and she calls Jace the greatest Shadowhunter to ever live, and I was like, bold.
It's a choice.
Clary has done more than him, untrained.
Yes. And then when you get farther in the Infernal Devices, both Shem and Will do much more than him. He just has the personality of like, great, I'm great, I have angel blood, I am the Superman, and that's actually nothing, absolutely nothing throughout the whole series.
Simon has done more while being a mundane.
Do you remember in Sea of Bones when he killed them?
Sea of Bones! He came in with the cross, like the bow and arrow, and fucking dispatched Abaddon. So, like, technically, Simon, as an untrained mundane, has done more than Jace.
Yeah.
I think they're just obsessed with angels. They literally worship angels, and he's part angel. I think that's what it is.
And like he's like the one with the most part angel. So like I think that's why they.
They view him as a god.
Did we talk
looks like
about
she's crisis.
What?
Ysenia looks like she's having an existential crisis.
It was hard for me to get a word in earlier, but can I say something about Jordan?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
Although I wasn't having a crisis. Well, I kind of was having a crisis. So here's the thing. I don't agree with Jordan's actions at all, but I'm not mad at the introduction of that character. I think that he's got an opportunity to develop further. Like, I couldn't say the same about Simon in his first book, or Jace, or Clary, but I feel like Jordan, at least his arc is starting if he gets a good development, not in terms of like whatever actions he's going to take in the other two, because like I said, I don't agree with what he's done at all, but like he seems like a more developed character in terms of his storyline, whether it's like one that I agree with or not.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree with that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was sitting here too, I was like, damn, they're going in on Jordan, and I kind of liked him.
Are you going to say it, or am I going to say it?
We were both sitting here like,
with our 4 stars.
Yo, y'all can shut us up whenever you need to. You all know this.
I mean, I know you guys were on a roll, man. I didn't want to.
Man, I'm like,
I was like, I'm about to get reamed for this.
I want to say that I kind of like the introduction of the Praetor thing. Like, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
But, like, even then, not that much. Like, I'm not that. Whatever.
I don't know. I wasn't really all into anything that happened in this book.
And I have a question. Did we talk about this when we read Sea of Bones? How incredibly unrealistic it is that Alec have never killed a demon.
Yeah, we talked about this. It's so stupid. It's so ridiculous. Like,
every time he just goes off of how sheltered and stuff he is, and how he's whiny and a baby thing. You can't tell me homeboy never killed a demon and then be shocked at how whiny he is in this book. Like,
I think that it's just so stupid, because then she writes him as the older one, the eldest.
Yeah.
And the one who is gonna take over everything after parents take it. So why do you make him so stupid?
Honestly, no, I agree, because like apparently from like what I know, his like character development in like the next two like part of the series is supposed to like skyrocket up to like get into a certain place that I know he's going. I don't know if it's gonna happen in the next book. I just know where he's supposed to end up. I don't know how he's getting there. And it's just like where we are right now in the series, I don't see how you go from where he is at right now to where I know he's supposed to end up.
Look, City of Lost Souls is a very bad book for Alec. Like a very bad book.
Thank you for the warning. Thank you for letting me know.
The Heavenly Fire, I think, is kind of better. Yeah. It's just like Lost Souls. When I said in the group chat, there's something that's coming in this book that's gonna really piss you off. No, it's in the next one. It's City of Lost Souls. Not good. I know where they end up, where he ends up. And I guess it's throughout the Dark Artifices, because in Heavenly Fire is not that prominent.
Yeah, I forget that we still have like the Dark Artifices. We have a lot of I know we have a lot of ground to cover, but I forget constantly that they're in the Dark Artifices.
And I didn't know books after the Dark Artifices that would still hypothetically include them if they're alive. So
exactly.
I think Magnus and Alec are really present in the Dark Artifices, but Chase and Clary are not.
Oh, thank God! That sounds great.
For sure.
This me right now, and it's just.
I don't know. Let's stop talking hypotheticals. We'll find out eventually.
I don't want it.
Me too.
But also, you need to remember that this was a big thing when Heavenly Fire came out, but she kills 6 main characters. So, like, think about that.
6 main characters?
Oh my God, we have so much to look forward to.
We could kill them all and then just do like let's
start from scratch.
She's like killing 6 main characters: Jocelyn, Luke,
Simon's mother.
I don't know. We'll find out.
She really hyped that up when the book came. She was really like, I'm killing 6 characters. 6 main.
We'll keep a death counter.
She's like, Sebastian.
She's like that tree that Clary and Jace kissed near when they were in that greenhouse.
The plant in the greenhouse.
The apple. It was the apple in the greenhouse.
Yeah, she kills them in that book, but she loves a resurrection trope. So
let's not get into the fucking resurrection trope. I can't.
Joe, if she does it again,
I will riot. I will literally.
The darkest timeline.
We all know there is going to be
Taylor, let a girl have some hope.
No,
please, I need hope at this point.
I'm realistic here, and we all know she's going to pull it with at least one. At least.
I cannot.
Also,
what?
If it's Jace again, also that would be.
I cannot.
Then we have 2 opportunities to get rid of him, and
I just want you to say something else. No, I want to say something else. The Silly Queen showed up again. What is a necessary character?
I like her.
Like, I like the idea of her, but she shows up.
That shit made him kiss, right?
Hell yeah.
Sammy.
Look, Sami is an unapologetic place stand.
She is.
Go off.
I just like the Silly Queen. I don't know. I like the Silly Queen. I like Camille. I just like the people that are here to stir shit up just for fun.
Yeah. I like better characters than the main villain.
My ex-boyfriend. Nice to see you again. Start it, please.
I just think that goes with Sammy's hidden desire to stir shit up constantly.
Yes, it tracks completely.
It tracks absolutely 100%.
My problem with the Silly Queen is that was just added to remind me that they were siblings before. Like, her whole point was, oh, do you remember when he was your brother? Do you remember?
Good times. Wow.
So what you're telling me is I'm the Silly Queen. Because I'm always like, but y'all are related. You remember?
Honestly, here's the thing. Throughout this entire book, I was like listening to them having these moments, and I was like, y'all thought you were siblings 6 weeks ago. Like, that doesn't go away. Like, just because there's been a book between these two, it doesn't mean I've forgotten that for 3 books, y'all thought you were siblings.
Maybe that was just Cassie Claire's way of saying, like, look, I recognize that this is not the tea, but at the same time, I'm in too deep with this storyline.
No, because she knows, and she's a hardcore Insta stan, okay? Because she has a tweet from 2015 where the Stefan Damon thing was going on, and she was like, Elena, Stefan and Damon, have you thought about Stefan and Damon together? Like, how did that history? Yes, brother. Like, that's why they didn't think about it.
She has a track record, it seems.
I don't get that reference. What was that reference?
Why does Mica
Vampire Diaries?
Vampire Diaries? Oh, never seen that either.
Yeah. What, sorry?
Brothers.
Yeah, spoilers for that.
2009. Like, where were you?
Not on Twitter.
Taylor, what did you say about me?
Then just in 2009, where were you?
No, I said, why do you always have receipts? You're like, Judith Lewis had a tweet on August 8th, 2000.
Mica was like still in the womb when that tweet was published.
Oh, shut up.
Seriously, if I need receipts for anything, like, I know just to go to Mica, and if she doesn't know it firsthand, it'll take her like 2 minutes to find it on Twitter.
100%.
It's just that when the thing with the new book getting leaked happened, people started going in on her, and I saw like a bunch of screenshots of that, and I never forgetting that shit. Like, I'm never gonna forget it. Ever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she's definitely different.
Yeah.
Something else.
Didn't she also write like a Ron and Ginny fanfic?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Actually, can we just not go back into this? I can't handle this anymore.
Okay. Anyone else have any other points about the book?
No, I've made all my points. I'm all pointed out.
Are we all excited for the rest of the series?
I mean, I'm kind of excited to go back to Jem, Will, and Tessa next month.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Simon, and I'll be excited. You know,
I kind of like that we're entering this point in which we're like switching back and forth, because like that means I get to like rest for a little bit from each series. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just don't get your hopes too high up.
Yeah, no, they're very low.
My hopes are down here.
Yeah.
Like, I distinctly remember hating Heavenly Fire. Like, finding it boring.
I don't know. We'll get there eventually.
I thought you meant with Clockwork.
yeah, I was like, you're scamming. You told us the one thing y'all told us was the Infernal Devices hit.
Hey, so
I don't know. I think the last one 4 stars too. So I'm here for Infernal Devices.
These books are good, okay? Shut up. But I don't trust myself.
And honestly, Mica, I love you, but we really cannot trust your opinions on this.
I don't trust my memory. That's the thing. Because I honestly, like, seriously love City of Glass. And I don't see it. And so I don't trust myself.
It's fine.
It's always been time. The thing is, I'm okay with checking up not true 5 stars in City of Glass. I'm not okay on sticking with this one as a 5 stars because that's too much for my soul.
No,
like, I care about
change it back.
I cared about City of Glass a lot. It's like my favorite book from my childhood. It was years when that book was everything. Okay, so yes, I'm giving it 5 stars, even though it's a 2. But whatever. This book, I didn't care at all, so it's getting a 1 as it deserves.
Valid.
Okay.
Yeah. So are we going to do a little wrap up of who's reading what?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm currently reading Warbreaker by Brandon Sanderson. continuing my fantasy thing I've been on lately. Having a great time. How about you, Tati?
I am in the middle of Blaze Wrath Games, and I am going to take a break from that today, and I'm going to head down to the pool and listen to an audiobook. I don't know what I'm listening to yet, so we'll see.
Okay.
I'm how many hours deep into the audiobook for
a bunch. Too many. She has 9 hours left.
I've got 9 hours left. No, 7 hours left. Anyway, I've got some hours left. I'm 62% in, and I've got like 9 hours. It's good. And I'm also in the middle of The Cup and the Prince by Laytown. It's an arc that I got, and it's like Throne of Glassy, and it's pretty good.
Nice. I am currently halfway through the Falling in Love montage. So
I still need to read it. I'm so excited.
Decently so far, but this is for a video that I'm hoping to get up in like the next week or so, having to do with somebody that rhymes with Sailor Twift. So, yeah. So we'll see how that one goes.
I'm excited. The Swifties group chat is thriving.
Ysenia, when you hit tiny little things or
things,
whenever you hit that, let me know, and let me know which coordinating thing, because I'm gonna follow along with you.
Okay. Well, that one doesn't have to do with the video. That one I just got because I wanted to, so we can just read it.
Okay, I'm excited.
Woo!
You're reading Mexican Gothic next month.
Next month for
your other.
Yeah, it's our October pick.
Okay, I might. That one looks really good. So I voted for that. I was like,
I think I might read that too, along with you.
Honestly, Sam, I might get the audiobook for that and just.
Am I gonna have to join in? I'll have FOMO if I don't join in.
Y'all are doing it. I'm doing it too. Let's do it.
Group merger.
Yes.
Cute. No, yeah, I'm super excited for that one.
Yeah. Right now, I'm listening to Becoming by Michelle Obama on audiobook. So it's really good. So I highly recommend reading that. And then basically I'm reading I'll Give You the Sun by Janie Nelson. Okay. Which I took a pause when I was like, I don't know, I've been in a reading funk, but we finished her, so now we can finally
continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really good so far. I was surprised. Huh?
The audiobook for Becoming, is it good?
Yes. Well, it's read by her, so it's like really great. And I'm listening to it slower, so I'm like taking it in better than I normally would. And it's really good so far. But I'm just like find it interesting to learn about like her past and her life.
I have the book, but I haven't read it yet. But I was like, the audiobook could
I have the audiobook because when I had the whole thing with my Kobo account that they charged me for a month because I forgot to cancel it. I still got the credits, so I got the audiobook. I just haven't listened to it yet.
Mm-hmm. It's basically just like she
has a podcast.
Really nice.
Yeah, she now has a podcast.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. She has a podcast that goes along with it, and then a Netflix documentary too. Yeah. But I haven't watched that one yet. But I want to.
Michelle Obama is getting that coin, and I love that for her.
I love that for her.
Yeah, me too.
Surely. Well, I am still reading the Poppy War and still reading the Boys. Yeah, go me.
She's a couple of weeks behind me on the Poppy War, but it's fine.
What did you give it? Did you get 4.5, Skylar?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
it was really good.
It's really good. I know it doesn't show for how much it's taking me to read it, but I love it. Like it's really.
It is really good.
Yeah. I'm just in a slump. I don't know why I can read.
It's just
I feel you though, because like I really wish I had time to go through a reading slump right now, but because I'm in school, I don't. So.
Yeah.
And like I'm reading a lot, like very consistently, so I'm like I'm gonna crash at some point, and I'm very scared for when that point arrives because like I still have to read for school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So We're done now. We're back next month on the 25th.
Yeah.
On Tati's channel?
October. Yes, on my channel. We will be there.
4 Clockwork Prince.
Yes.
We are doing our first official going back. This is our first. We've completed our first cycle.
Yay.
Yes.
That's exciting.
Go us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we're done.
Bye.
Bye.